Riley is a paranormal investigator who is sitting completely numb. She says that it has finally come for her, and she is scared. Just then, she hears a loud bang followed by the screams of other people. She walks out of the room and soon screams in horror. It's been weeks since Riley and her entire team have been missing. Although most people believe that it's a hoax and that they are scammers, the victim's family is urging the cops to look for their children. It's been 12 years since their disappearance, and her sister Mia is working with a documentary filmmaker. She takes them back to their childhood, so people get to know Riley better. Since childhood, she used to have nightmares and she drew them. And that's the reason she chose to become a paranormal investigator. People were jealous of their success because she was able to capture things that no one could do. 3 weeks before their disappearance, she went to an abandoned prison. There, she started feeling uneasy in front of a cell. Suddenly, she started to get scared and ran away from there. After that, they all went missing. At first, people thought that it was simply a publicity stunt, but when they didn't come back after 5 days, people started to take it seriously. They found footage of them being last seen in Shelby Oaks. Mia says that she and her sister used to visit the amusement park situated there as kids. But after some time, it caught fire and burned to ashes. People still believe that it's haunted. The entire town is abandoned, and that was the reason the team wanted to investigate it. But after some time, everyone figured that they were not going to come back. Mia went on to marry Robert. She always wanted to become a mother, but failed miserably. But someone from the team called 911 after the disappearance and said that someone had broken into their residence. Soon, the cops discovered mutilated bodies of the team members, but Riley was missing. They also found a demonic symbol and the name carved Tarion. The cops found footage where the perpetrator can be seen, but his face isn't recognizable. This sparked nationwide outrage, and the cops got their work. But to their shock, they found a demonic figure standing outside her window. Riley mentioned in her documentary that she had seen the places in her dream when she was a child, 11, though she had never been there before. Mia says that she had visions since childhood, and she told them that a man was staring at her from their window. But they didn't find anything except for a crack in the glass. But it all stopped after she turned 13. But Mia saw the same kind of fear in her eyes in that tape and knew that something was wrong. She clearly heard her saying, "Mia, he is back." When they were kids, their mother taught them to carve on trees so they could find a way back home. And Mia is still determined to bring Riley back home. The crew is setting up for their next shot when the doorbell rings. Mia opens it, and an unknown man is standing there. He cries and says that she finally let him go. Suddenly, he points a gun at his head and shoots himself. But just then, Mia notices a tape in his hands. The cops soon show up and take away the body. Soon evening falls, and Mia is ready to discover the truth after stealing the tape from the evidence. She goes to another room and plays it. It starts with Riley introducing people to the podcast as she is on her way to investigate Shelby Oaks. She then stands frozen in front of the abandoned jail. Upon asking, she says that it's wrong and they shouldn't be there. She then goes to the amusement park and carves some letters on a tree. She says that her sister will know what it means once she sees it. Soon, they find an abandoned house and decide to stay there. But right after moving in, they find a man's shadow lurking behind. But the moment they open the door, there is no one. In the evening, they hear wild hounds crying from everywhere. It seems as if they have been surrounded from every corner. They decide to finally leave when a thud noise comes from outside. A guy goes out to check, but there is no one there, but suddenly a man jumps out and kills him. He then goes inside and rips people apart. Soon, Riley comes downstairs, but instead of harming her, he kidnaps her and takes her away. The tape shuts, and Mia finds a demonic figure standing behind her. She turns back and sees the glass cracking slowly. She immediately runs out with a baseball bat. Robert comes out and asks her what happened. She shows him the tape proving that she was right all along and that her sister might still be alive. He hugs her and assures her that things will get better. The man is Wilson Miles. He was born in Shelby Oaks, and he was in the same prison that Riley filmed for 5 years. After he got out, no one ever saw him until the day he showed up in front of her house. The cop asks if she thinks he has a connection with her sister, but she doesn't answer. Robert is upset because she didn't hand over the evidence to the cops. She says that the person is dead, and if she submits the tape, they will shut down the case. And she will do her own investigation. She then starts researching Wilson and finds that there was a riot in the prison and 18 people were killed. The inmates later confirmed that some negative force made them do it. She digs deeper and finds images of carvings on trees just the way they used to do in their childhood. She then goes to meet Morton, the prison security guard. He says that things went downhill after Wilson came there. One night, all the cell doors opened automatically due to a computer glitch. Chaos broke out as the criminals started killing one another. But even after having a chance, Wilson didn't leave. He stood there frozen and watched everything burn. Since that day, the prison couldn't get back on its feet. Morton believes that Wilson brought something with him that caused it. Back at home, Mia is watching the tapes again and again. Suddenly, her eyes get stuck on something, and she pauses the video. She finds that there is a demonic figure standing behind Riley. The next morning, she tells Robert that just after Wilson was born, Shelby Oaks started to turn into a grave. The businesses closed, and people disappeared. The only things that were left there were the prison and the jail. She says that Riley stopped having her nightmares the day Wilson went to jail, and the day he got out, Riley disappeared. She then says that there is something she has never told anyone. When they were young, Riley was having a hard time with her dreams. One day, she went to sleep beside her. Riley fell asleep, but she couldn't. But just then, she heard a scratching noise coming from outside. She turned towards a window and found a demonic figure standing there. And it's the same figure in the picture as well. She believes that this demonic power was using Wilson to hunt down Riley. But Robert says that he has had enough and can't deal with her anymore. She then scours through her old stuff and finds Riley's drawing book. She flips through the pages and sees the same demon drawn on it. She then does more research and finds mention of hounds being the pets of this demon. Just then, she hears some growling noise coming from outside. She finds a hound walking towards her. She tries to step back, but the moment she turns, it's nowhere to be found. She gets inside and starts to watch the tapes yet again. Just then, she notices something and pauses. She finds that the cell Riley was standing in front of belongs to Wilson. She immediately takes her car and goes to the prison. She goes inside and finds the place completely abandoned. She then slowly walks toward the cell and looks inside. She notices that the amusement park can be seen from a window. She then looks down and finds that she is standing on top of someone's footprints. She inspects the wall and finds her and Riley's initials carved with satanic symbols. Suddenly, she hears a demonic screeching coming from behind. She tries to run but falls on the ground. Something then slowly starts to come toward her from the darkness. It's a hound that lunges at her. She immediately runs out of there and drives off. She then decides to go to Shelby Oaks to get to the root cause of everything. She then goes to the amusement park. She goes deep inside the woods and finds the tree where her sister carved their initials. Just then, she hears some growling noise coming from behind. She looks back but doesn't find anyone. She walks around the woods and suddenly stumbles in front of another hound. But it doesn't attack her and indicates she should follow him. Mia has an intuition and she starts to follow him. She finally reaches a house, but it seems as if someone lives there. She suddenly finds some twigs buried underground, just like the satanic sign. Suddenly, a woman calls from the house. Mia says that she didn't think anyone lived down there. She says that she has been living there for decades, but there's something sinister about her. She says that her name is Norma and invites her in. Mia follows her as if she is hypnotized. She offers her some food, but Mia declines. She then shows Norma Riley's picture and asks if she has seen her before, but she denies. She says that she lives alone, but just then they hear a creaking noise coming from upstairs. Mia asks her for some tea, and she goes to the kitchen. Seizing the opportunity, Mia steals a knife from the table. She notices that the house is in a completely unlivable condition. Norma then reveals that she used to live with her son, but she hasn't seen him in the longest time. She points toward a picture, and Mia is left horrified to find that the man is none other than Wilson. Norma asks if she has kids, and Mia replies negatively. She then asks why she did not have children, but it puts Mia off. She changes the topic and says that she is going to make some tea for her. The moment she leaves, Mia asks Robert to call the cops. She suddenly finds an album there and discovers Riley's pictures. It seems that she was forced to marry Wilson in some ritualistic practice. She was impregnated by him, but lost the child. He abused her for years and kept impregnating her. The twigs she found outside are all her unborn children. Just then, Norma comes there and says that Riley is strong. She was once given the chance by Tarayan, and now it's Riley's turn to raise his offspring. Mia says that she has already called the cops and asks about Riley's whereabouts. Norma takes out the rug, and there's a hidden door behind it. She opens the door, which leads to a basement. She then tells Mia that there's nothing to be scared of, as it's a gift. Mia takes out the knife and slowly walks down the basement. She slowly walks through the dungeon and discovers Riley chained in one of the cellars. She calls for her, but Riley doesn't respond. After a lot of begging, she finally recognizes her. She then frees her and runs toward their escape. But soon Norma starts to follow them. They manage to get out. At the last moment, Mia sees Tarion standing behind her. She tries to walk out the door, but Riley gets inside. She follows her and finds the basement door open. She grabs a weapon and slowly walks upstairs. Riley is standing outside a room, and she tries to convince her to leave. But just then, she hears a baby crying from the room. She slowly opens the room and gets inside. She finds Norma worshipping Tarion, using the baby. Riley tries to attack her, but she uses her power and throws both of them away. She then rises and starts to chant some demonic mantras. Tarion appears there, and she soon falls unconscious. Mia reaches out to Riley and tries to help her. Norma then slowly starts to crawl toward a well. Mia finds that her pictures are stuck on the wall, and Norma smears all her blood on them. Right before dying, Norma looks at Mia for one last time, leaving her petrified. She lays Riley on the ground and walks toward the baby. She finds him there smeared with blood, but she promises that now both of them are safe. They are escorted to safety by the morning. Robert apologizes to her for not believing in her, but promises that he will be with her from now on. Riley gets up from sleep, but hearing her baby cry, something changes in her. The news spreads like wildfire. The cops finish the story by saying that it was done by Wilson and Norma, who are two psychopaths. Mia has resumed the documentary, but with Riley this time. She says that both she and the baby are doing well, but it's going to take Riley some time to get back to normal. In the evening, she goes to check and finds the baby and Riley sleeping in the same room. She then goes out, but Riley was only pretending to be asleep. She goes to see off the filmmaker. Before leaving, she asks about how she was able to track down Riley without any leads. She replies by saying that she felt like something wanted her to be there. On the other hand, Riley gets up, takes a pillow, and slowly approaches the baby. Mia gets back in her room and sees her. She stands there frozen and begs her not to do anything. Riley says that the child is satanic and she has to do it. She then lunges at the baby and Mia runs to stop her. They get into a scuffle, but Mia accidentally throws her out of the window. Riley is still alive, but suddenly a pack of hounds lunges at her and tears her to pieces. Mia watches in horror as her sister is being torn to shreds. Soon enough, Tarion appears behind her and puts his hand on her shoulder. She remembers how she was the one who saw the demon as a child. She soon realizes that it was all a plan, and from now onwards, she will raise the demonic child. You were watching a recap of the 2025 film Shelby Oaks. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel and get notified about our next video. Till then, you may also like this.